Welcome, everybody. It has been forever since I've done a live stream, but I have three of the legendary customizers in the toy customizing community. I am joined by, of course, my brother from the Arizona mother I have, Mr. Tony Figs himself, my long lost cousin, Cage's Custom, also from the Arizona area, and then in a secret laboratory somewhere in the United States, it's the man known as Gun Bunny Customs.
Good
The
evening,
man who
gentlemen.
creates magical vehicles literally out of nothing. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing pretty good, bro.
All right.
Doing good.
Yep.
So tonight, now you guys missed probably the best part, which is the backstage where we were all cussing and swearing and being stupid. But most of you may have known these gentlemen from their Instagram. Of course, Tony posted all of those amazing OG-13s, Gun Bunny with his fixation on Tiger Force and Python patrols. But Cage's Customs, I have to say, you've created some of the most craziest kit bashed customized weapons that I've seen in a long, long time. Also, you've done a whole bunch of custom figures for Mark over at Gridiron for some of the loadout kits that we've seen as well, too. So if you folks don't know them, I have attached the Instagram channels or the pages for each of them in the description of the video. And we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, we're going to have fun. We're going to have 3 questions, and then I'm going to show some of your guys' work that you've done. And then if we've got folks in the chat who want to ask questions, we're going to go ahead and let them do that. So let's go ahead and get started. First question, and I'm going to start with Gun Bunny. And I'll ask you guys all of this, of course, is when did you start customizing either vehicles or action figures?
Well, I started customizing the classified line when it launched, and it was something that I just wanted to do. I'd seen where people started doing upgrades to the original releases, like putting the white undershirt on Roadblock, and that was the first thing that I attempted. And then just through picking that up, and then I wanted to do, at one point I wanted to do like 10 shades of Snake Eyes, where I wanted to paint them 10 different colors, and Cobra Commander and all that kind of stuff. And it just sort of grew, where I just started off with that one small upgrade that I wanted to do, and then it just sort of morphed into all of this over the last 3 or 4 years.
Awesome. All right, Tony, when did you start doing customization?
Well, technically, back in the 80s, with a 3 3/4 inch, I found out that you get the little screwdriver and go into the backs of the figures, take them apart, go into their thighs, take them apart, put see what fits with different guys, and make an amalgamation of different dudes with all kinds of molded weapons on them. But after that, just little by little, when I had collections like Superpowers and G.I. Joe and Mask and all them, never customized, just played with them like they were. And then I ended up started collecting Marvel Legends. So maybe 2002 or 2006, whenever the Marvel Legends took off, the Toy Biz, I started trying to make guys that they hadn't made yet. And then when they got into the return of Marvel Legends, and then Hasbro took over from Toy Biz, then I started really getting into, breaking them apart, putting them back together, gluing them back in, making figures and characters that they hadn't made yet. That's what I wanted, especially all the, the Marvel Legends, all the Marvel Knights and the Urban Heroes that I wanted to make, because I got a big love for all the street level guys. And then when Classified came around, I said, finally, they're doing something with G.I. Joe, but it looks kind of freaking weird. It's like, what is this? What are these, shin plate protectors on Duke? And I can do something with these. So I got into the line to customize it, because I'm like, hey, I could change that around. I could do this. I could do that. Let me, and then I did like the aesthetic. I didn't want to go all the way back in the day with them to make them classic, but more classic with a little bit of the classified feel to it, and that just made them a throwback to look a homage to what was, plus a little bit of new in there. So when I started customizing, I didn't go all out, a real American hero. And then of course they started making the retro line, which I love, so you can get it's the best of both worlds, and you customize again with them. I started making ones that they hadn't made yet. So
Have you found that camera that Lenny put in your room?
Yeah, I have not found that damn camera that Lenny and Tony stuck in here, but I just got to be real careful when I'm getting ready for work.
I want to send a big shout out to Black Angus, KJ, Travis at work, but thanks for jumping in. And then, of course, GI Bro. Thanks, you guys, for jumping in. And then, how many of us started doing customs because of GI Joe? I know I was able to obtain a ton of figures because of the broken O-rings, because my friends would just throw them away and I'd take them.
Yeah.
Because my grandfather showed me that the O-rings were just little, basically like washer rings that you could go to the hardware store and find cheap. So I was excited to be able to fix my own figures. And then, of course, I was supplementing everything else with all of the throwaways too. So,
yeah.
But Johnny, how did you start doing customization work?
Pretty much the same as Tony. I started out back in the 80s when I was a little kid. My dad actually showed me and my brothers how to fix the figures. My dad was very mechanically inclined. He was always working on stuff. So when we broke our GI Joes, he wasn't having that. He went over and fixed them for us and showed us how to do it ourselves. Because it was hey, I'm not going to do this for you every time. You need to do it too. So he ended up, we had like some little, he had like these little screwdriver sets he gave to us, and then he gave us O-rings, and then when we ran out of those, we used like rubber bands and shit. And so when me and my brothers, my oldest brother actually, he's the one who actually started customizing the figures, making different figures, and then so I started doing it, and then my other brother started doing it. So we just all started dashing up all our GI Joes and making new customs out of them. I mean, back then, we didn't care who it was. We made cool looking figures for us, and it was like, something different. And we had all these broken up GI Joes, so we just started putting them together, making things mix and match.
I remember my mom I kept all my Joes in a fishing tackle box, all the pieces.
Oh yeah.
And she opened it up and she's like, "We spent all this money on these toys and you've broken all of them." I'm like, no. I can put them all back together. She's like, "You're going to do it." I'm like, "I am." And I had to show her, I'm like, "I'm building my own guys." And she's like, "How did you figure that out?" I'm like, "Oh, I'll tell you later."
Same thing. Yep.
You want to know a funny story? When we were little, Hasbro came down and they did like this, I don't know, it's like a toy show and tell at like one of the department stores. I don't know if you remember. You remember Mervin's, Tony?
Yep. Hell yeah.
Yeah, they were down in Mervin's, and my mom, she bagged up like probably 100 broken figures, brought those down to the Hasbro execs that were there showing off the stuff, and she just puts this down on the desks and says, "What are you guys doing about this? Look at this. Your figures are breaking so easily." And I can't remember the conversation. I just remember seeing, my parents back and forth and with the Hasbro people. And then they took down my parents', address. And like a week or so later, we got like these 2 huge Home Depot sized care boxes full of GI Joe figures and vehicles for free.
Oh shit!
It was like Christmas. I think I still have one of the vehicles that got for free from Hasbro, and I know I've got some of the figures. If not, they're pieces somewhere. But
Damn.
that was like, yeah, that was pretty awesome. But
It's like the ultimate story.
yeah, and a lot of the stuff I know my dad kept it, put it in his collection, because my dad he collected stuff too. So But
You know, Johnny, I used to like you, but then you rubbed it in my face by all that gridiron stuff, and then you got two big boxes from Hasbro, bro. I'm not feeling it.
uh, yeah,
Okay. What the next question will be? What is your favorite custom that you've done? So let's start with Johnny.
That's a tough one. I mean, I don't really know if I have a favorite one, like a single favorite one.
Which was the one you were probably most proud of, or you were like, "Damn, this really turned out better than I expected."
Oh. That one, probably. That'd probably be a toss-up between my Cobra Shock Trooper or that OG-13 Flash I did. Those ones,
Which we will show later.
yeah. I mean, I put a lot of work into those ones. So yeah, when I finally finished them, I was like, all right, came out better than I was expecting.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Gun Bunny, which of your customs that you did are you most proud of, or to expand on it, like one that you think turned out the best?
The one that I'm most fond of is actually one of the most simple ones that I did, and it was it was a custom I made about maybe 2.5 years ago. It was my V1 rock and roll custom, and I used a Duke base, the original release, classified release Duke base, and I got the kind of OG-13 helmet from Mark II, and I got the M60 from Darkgate 1313 was nice enough to send me that to complete it. And the reason he's my favorite is because he was the first G.I. Joe that I got as a kid in 1983. In Easter of 1983, I got Rock and Roll and I got the Whirlwind. And because he was my first one, he was always the one that I was, kind of most partial to. So when I made that custom, he's really simple. He's just, 2 or 3 different shades of green to create that look. Figure wise, he's my favorite, even though he is one of the ones that was sort of the easiest ones. As far as vehicles go, I would have to say, I don't know. It's kind of hard because each one, I tried something different with each one, whether it was fabrication, like really starting like fabricating on this one, or doing like a crazy paint job with this one. So I like them all for different reasons. But I would have to say probably the one that I'm kind of most excited about at the moment is, I guess, the one that we'll reveal later on in the show, the one that's pretty much almost complete now. I'll try to get it. I just got to do the cockpit interior with like the computer screens and put the seats in. But other than that, it's pretty much done, and the crew that goes with it. So I think that one is because it's the most amount of extensive fabrication went into that one so far, and so I'm excited about the results of that. And so everyone's a step to the next one. So now that I know I can do what I can do with this one, it's I can flip that to the next custom that is actually going to be pretty similar to this one, and hopefully that next one is going to be hopefully my absolute favorite.
We've got to get you a 3D printer because the stuff you're doing with styrene is just crazy. But still, I just love to see what you could do with a 3D printer.
Oh,
the problem is I'm not a very computer savvy guy. I'm sort of like a caveman. I'm like an old artist. Like I still draw with pencil and paper. I still paint on watercolor paper. I do some of it on my iPad, through Procreate for my day job and stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm like a more of a hands-on as opposed to like a graphic or digital artist. So the computer stuff sort of is right outside of my cave. I mean, just a little bit too far for this caveman to venture to.
it's right there, though. It's right there. Come on.
And I know exactly where you're coming from, man.
Both of you, motherfucker.
If only we knew somebody who was a master designer who's designed some amazing stuff. Quaid.
Yeah. Quaid. Don't get me started.
Tony, what's your favorite custom that you've done so far?
Man, I'm gonna take a page out of Prince's book and say the next one. But but I really like the Alpine I did, came out pretty cool. And then I like the mainframe was good. I like that one. And like I sort of had, I don't know who, Johnny was doing Flash, and then I was trying to do my Flash with a different flavor on it, and him and Grand Slam came out different, even though they used kind of the same stuff. But I really liked my, what I thought was an improvement on the version 2 Snake Eyes. It was simple, and I used some Marvel Legends parts, because the V2 Snake Eyes looks a little too, I don't know, I want to say wimpy, but he's got armor plating on, and he still looks like a regular size. It still looks like he can go inside a suit with all that on.
Wait,
So-
you're talking about the classified V2 Snake Eyes, right?
Classified
Tony?
V2.
Not the 3 3/4.
No. I'm talking about, you're talking about
Yeah,
customs.
you're talking about that anorexic Snake Eyes.
Yeah, the V2. Yeah, he was little, and so I
Stupid.
said, man, if I could get a Deadpool from the waist up, and then what did I do? King T'Chaka, Black Panther's dad. He's got like nice tactical pants and boots, and take V2's classified gear. The armbands, the bandolier, the blade holster, the gun holster, all that on there, and it came out. And I got a head sculpt from Toy Box on eBay, and it came out exactly how I liked it and wanted it. And he stood really good with the other guys, and he looked more intimidating. He looked more like, he looked better, I thought, an improvement at least on the classified one. And he's one of the first ones I did, besides taking, the armor plating off Duke and all that stuff. That's just upgrade, but it wasn't like, that's just, taking stuff off that you didn't like. But Snake Eyes was a full custom.
All right, and then the final question: what's your dream custom for the future? Start with you, Tony.
Oh man,
And that could be anything.
my dream custom, just say figure. By the time G.I. Joe was getting past sci-fi, I liked that figure, even though he was lime green and metal. Kind of want to see what I can do with that one, because I seen, Stronox's. I think Dr. Gifford did one, Yojo ARAH, but I think I want to mess with, delve into the more fantasy military, like sci-fi. Johnny knows I don't like those. I don't like Battle Force 2000 and all that
No.
stuff.
I
But
don't think anybody does.
but I like
Hey,
sci-fi.
hey! Now I'm working on the whole Battle Force 2000 team. Dodgers already done it. That's all.
Yeah, so I might mess with a sci-fi. I might mess with some others. Some of the Deke characters, I guess, like Ambush and Pathfinder, they look like they'd be fun to do, because they're not too far off of, they have camo still, they have boonie hats, they have stuff like that it's fun, and it's right up my alley. So some of those, I guess. Sci-fi,
Okay.
maybe too, because looks like RoboCop.
Yeah, close, super close.
Yeah.
Gun Bunny, what's your dream item that you want to work on?
Well, if I had my druthers, I would like to work on a large base.
Nice.
The only as my vehicles have gotten bigger and bigger, something that I would like to tackle is some kind of play set, whether it be the original headquarters play set, the pit, a terradrome,
Woo.
a tactical battle platform, or something like that I really want to do. I was lucky enough to be able to have this space added onto my house, a workshop added onto my house and studio. So now I have the space to make something that big, as opposed to before. When I started, I was just in my spare bedroom, my small spare bedroom. So I have, maybe 4 or 5 times the size now. And so I want to tackle something that's a little bit larger. I have never done a diorama. I've never done a playset or anything like that before. So that'd be something that I'd like to do.
Gun Bunny's going to make a flag. That
Dude.
addition to his house is just going to be
Actually,
a pontoon.
I would not put that past him.
I actually thought about that and about how I would do it, and how to make it modular and still work to where it could be stored and pushed off to the side. But when it's time to display, you can kind of roll it out and put the pieces together and actually have the decks on the ship. Because me being, I was on the Essex and the Pearl Harbor. So I was on an LHD, which is like a small aircraft carrier of my first deployment. So I remember having to go through all the different decks and stuff like that and what was on them. So I was thinking about actually getting like one of these shelving systems that has the 5 shelves and doing like 5 decks and having like actually using those shelf systems and the sheets of that foam insulation that all the diorama guys do, and using that to create like a large either modular aircraft carrier, the deck like that, or to do the 5 levels of the pit like that, like on a big shelf system that you would basically remove the shelf and then put one of those put the pink foam in there and then build off that, so you could have all the different levels. I want to try something big like that to where you would have like a multi-level pit, multi-level terradrome or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, just to piggyback off that, if I ever got into dioramas like Gun Bunny was talking, the first thing I want to do, and I need to do if I have room, I need to do an armory, like a big armory room with all our damn gridiron we have, all the weapons. I have so many guns and weapons and accessories just in bins. Need to make a big nice diorama of just an armory. That'd be a dream project for me if I got into dioramas other than figures. Yeah.
Nice. And then Johnny, what's your dream project?
I don't know. What's the most hated G.I. Joe figure right now?
Oh my god.
Besides the 2 that I can't stand that I would never make, Raptor or Crystal Wall. I got
my
this thing for making some of these
Ryan's
figures.
favorites.
My bad. I just don't like those 2 guys for some reason. But hey, man, I made figures that people don't like. I guess I didn't know that a lot of people hated Scoop. And I know about this.
I know that either.
There's a whole lot of hate for Battle Force 2000, but I like them. So let's see what other hated figure I can come up with next, I guess. But no, let's see. Back to what Gunny Buddy was saying. I contemplated making a classified scale Terradrome. I looked into it, scaled that out, what it would have to be. Now, not scaling it to the size of the 3 3/4, but actually scaling it to the hated G.I. Joe movie, that Terradrome, how that was, scaling it to that size, I would have had to build that in my garage and it would have to stay in the garage. So I abandoned that idea.
Right.
But I figured out how I could do it. It's just, it was not feasible.
It would be like one of those kids' playhouses, the little tights.
Yeah.
Hey, our old ass is just stuck in there playing. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm playing in my Terradrome. Shut up.
It'd be like that. I'd be like, "Hey guys, you want to come over and play in the garage with my Terradrome?"
Make a huge fucking fire bat with it. Oh my god.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then what I thought about using was one of those, like a kiddie pool as the base.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. A kiddie pool, yeah.
Get one of those. Get one of the base, cut it into quarters, and then build up, each quarter. And then I was going to make it big enough to use one of these as a fire bat in the middle with the whole launching system from the Star Command base in the middle, and then you would have the pool. So it'd be more towards like the toy scale, the original toy scale, as opposed to like the cartoon, like Johnny was saying. So it'd have been more towards the play side scale. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about using, like getting maybe about 3 or 4 of those kiddie pools so I could have multiple decks and all that kind of stuff. And then, and then stacking it up that way, then kind of slicing it like a pizza into quarters. So then that way it can be kind of stored and rolled away.
Oh yeah, there's a way to do that. Oh my god.
Well, you want to know what I was gonna use? You know those big, those big wire bales that they have all the huge, like the electrical poles.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Those,
Yeah.
yeah, I was scoping those out because there's a lot of them in my area, and I was gonna get 2 of those and use as the base for the body and build all in and around that. Like I said, that would be in the garage and it would stand at least 5 feet tall, and there was no way I'd be able to get that in the house if I finished it. But yeah, those big wire bales were the perfect base for an actual, 1/12 scale, based off the cartoon size Terradrone. And yeah, that never would have gone anywhere except the garage.
So that housing development that you secure, you're looking for materials around there too. You little bastard.
Man, I look at stuff every single day and I'm like, what could I use that for? Yeah. But no, back to what Tony was saying. I actually have an armory diorama I'm working on right now next to another diorama I'm working on. But yeah, they're coming slow because I've been back and forth in between so many other things. But that'll be finished someday. I mean, I've got all this stuff right here to throw in it.
That's awesome.
I'm to the point I have all my Joe stuff up here. So
Mhm.
I have boxed and unboxed. Now I'm to the point where I'm going to put these into tubs because all of these shells are going to be dios because, a couple years ago, I went all in on that Robo Skull, and I know those are coming at the end of summer, and I want to have some sort of dio for that set up. And then you got Monster Force, so I'm going to probably want to pick up a couple of those figures. So I got to figure out something for those. And then I've got a Dragonfly, a Hiss Tank, a Vamp. Like I've just got to start putting dios and then rotating stuff through. It's like, holy crap, what are we going to do with all this stuff?
Oh, there's room. You need some more room.
And we've got another damn HasLab coming sometime this year for Joe.
Oh,
I can't wait. Rattlers. A few people have said they believe it's the Rattler. Dude, I can't fucking wait for that thing.
Nah, watch it just be the Stinger.
I know. Why? Yeah.
No, it's not going to be the Stinger. All right. Nope, it's not going to be the Stinger. I will
Ryan
just say
has
this.
Scoop. Ryan has a scoop.
I think in 2025, like 2024 is going to be a good year for Joe. We're going to get a lot of cool stuff. Dragonfly is going to be amazing. But 2025, some of the stuff they've got coming out then is people are going to just lose their shit over because they've got some cool stuff that's going to be coming out.
Hopefully the next HasLab is big Battle Force 2000 base.
They are they're looking into it is what I'm going to say. We're going to start to see more stuff. So I'm not saying Battle Force because I think that might be a couple years off, but I think we might start seeing some other smaller stuff that can be used on shells. That would be nice to have. So,
yeah.
Right.
It's
Well,
almost
I
going
want
to get to the point where to customize.
Pardon?
I said it's going to get to the point where they're going to release everything, so there's almost no reason to customize a lot of this stuff. Or,
No, man, there's always
no. We'll still customize. We'll make their stuff better. We'll just keep pimping out their stuff.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
For a while, that's why I stopped a little bit because they were coming out with so much crap. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hold on. They're making all the things that I've already made. Shit,
All right. Well, let's show off you guys and your stuff. So let me see if I can look at that, Tony. I figured it out.
Oh, there you go. I love doing that stupid shit. What's up,
Thank you,
Zazel?
Zazel. So what I also asked these fine gentlemen to do is just provide me some of their favorite customs that they've done. So we're going to start with Tony. And these are, of course, some of them that you've talked about. You also have that, that green guy. I've seen him somewhere. He looks so familiar.
Oh, yeah. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. That Night Viper?
Yeah.
Yep. That's the one that Mark wanted. wanted me to do for him for that loadout, and that came. I like the way that came out. It just worked really well. And once he got it in hand, he knew where to fit all his loadout around it, and built it from there. And he liked it. And it came out pretty cool.
I still can't believe you used that cheap ass Walmart paint for that.
I
just
didn't
can't
use
believe
that for that. I didn't use. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, I did use that.
Yeah, and you use that bunny bottom stuff or whatever was that, honey
I
barrel?
used some of that full
Apple
cart crap,
bottom.
and then I said screw that and use a spray can. And yeah, but then after you touched it up, and then I Krylon acrylic matted it, then it came out really good, and not hardly any paint rub on that. And
I
then
love Law and Order.
Yeah,
Alpine looks absolutely amazing.
Thanks.
The dog looks great. I can't wait till we see that figure in, classified form and what they do with them.
I'm waiting. I just like him. He's got a special place because Kirk Bazigian himself talked about it. He said, "I never look better, Tony." And I'm like, "Whoa, he was modeled after he was modeled after Kirk Bazigian. That's like him." And I'm like, that's a great thing to hear, and he was pretty easy, you have the stuff hanging around a fodder box, your mind starts going, and he came out pretty good. And then that dog's just from some model making place on eBay. And I said, that German Shepherd's to scale. So, but he's just
Looks
a stat.
good.
Yeah,
looks good though. So the mainframe looks good as well too. And then,
oh yeah, Blackout. I took a page out of Dr. Giles. He made one, and he said, "Dude, if you have this and have that." And I know you already got Jay's Armory's chest piece and shoulder pads. You can make a good Blackout with him, and that's just a Marvel Legends Captain America head. Yeah, man. And then with Leatherneck, he was just a no-brainer. That's I only had to paint minimal camo because I liked the all we had is the Flint legs, and then I got some Dusty's boots. And he's got some ammo on the left thigh, the holster on the right thigh. And I had told Mark, hey, I need a M16 M203. He told Quaid about it, and then they brought it out for their the movie stuff they do, Johnny. The
Yeah.
because the Predator.
Montana.
Yeah.
The Dutch Montana, because it's Tony Montana's rifle. It's the same thing as Dutch from Predator's rifle. It's the M16 M203, and that was my favorite weapon when I was a little kid. When I got finally got Leatherneck as a kid, I'm like, that's my favorite gun. That's my favorite gun. And a lot of the armed forces guys, they like that. They like that weapon. If I can recall, Gun Buddy, did you ever have some jarheads like that thing?
Yeah, every fire team had a 203. We all had a qual with it and use it. Every fire team had a 203 and had a 249 saw and a gunner and all that stuff.
That's awesome.
Got to
and then
thing.
and then he was not too much, not paint rub at all on him. And that's a Punisher head. I painted a mustache on him. And my buddy Mike Seifert, he 3D printed the correct 8-point cover with the EGA on the front, and that's not too many people do that. And he's out of Arizona too. I think he's in Mesa. But he made the correct cover, and I got one for Gung Ho. It's just olive drab. Yeah, and then when you go to Flash and Grand Slam, there's those paddings that Game Reverse Captain America Marvel Legends figure have, and they're on his arms like gauntlets. I took them off and spread them out and used them as padding for their thighs. And then some more 3D action from Jay's Armory and some more from Gridiron Weaponry. and they came out pretty cool. And there's one of my favorites, the Snake Eyes version 2. It looks a little bit beefier than Classified.
Looks good.
Thank you.
I know I did a custom Don Moreno, and I had posted it on Facebook, and I'm friends with Larry, and he liked it, and I was just like, oh my god! And I screenshotted it and saved it. Such a nerd, but it was just cool, that you get somebody who created those characters who like it. So have Kurt do that. That's pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
So again, just amazing figures. I hate you. I mean, kidding. I love you. Your OG 13s are great. The videos you did showing them off are just amazing too. So, and then this, I absolutely adore this figure.
Oh yeah.
This loadout kit. Johnny, you killed it with this.
Oh yeah.
Like, just amazing.
Yeah, that one wasn't a whole lot of shopping, but I did that backpack. It's not a stock gridiron backpack. I chopped up a couple of different things to get that backpack set up for him also, and a few other items there. I know from Mr. T right there. I chopped up that baton he comes with to make those electro wands. Yeah, that dude. There's a good amount of work I put into it. That was one of those figures that when I was finished with it, I was like thinking that it came out better than what I imagined. So it's pretty happy.
This is what I imagined a Cobra Shock Trooper should look like.
Mm-hmm.
And with having all the loadout and the different, you could swap out with that helmet and the head. It's absolutely beautiful.
Well, I based it off that. I looked at every accessory that the original figure came with, so I wanted to replicate every accessory the figure came with. So, and I got pretty close to it. I think I threw a couple extra accessories in there he didn't have. I think I don't know if it's in the pictures, but I think I tossed in that little night vision headset off of the Tunnel Rat figure. I just tossed it in there just because I thought it looked cool just among the rest of the gear. But yeah, there's a lot of.
Plus, when you do your gridiron raids, I mean, this Mark needs to put this as a loadout. So,
yeah.
And then you've got your custom flash, which Tony, I'm sorry, but Johnny's looks really awesome.
I agree.
Fuck yeah.
Just absolutely amazing, the work that you did on those. Love the paint, love the shading, the dry brushing. I mean, they just all look awesome.
That's actually my version 2 of Flash too. When I first started Flash, because since Flash and Grand Slam are pretty much the same figure body, I actually made the original Flash. He looked exactly like my Grand Slam, except for he had the red pads. And I was like, no, I'm not happy with this. I want it to look different. So I scrapped it and I started and did that one instead. And that one I think came out 100 times better than the original custom I made for Flash. I mean, it would have just been like a straight 1-to-1 duplicate like 3 3/4 was, just with a different head. So, but yeah, I put a lot of work into that loadout, and like I was telling you guys earlier, all of the messages I was getting from people asking me, why isn't this loadout on the gridiron set yet? And I had to keep telling them it's a custom loadout I made. So
it's a custom loadout I made from other loadouts.
Yeah, from other loadouts.
Mark loved that.
Yeah, I know, because they were hitting up Mark too, asking him, hey, why isn't this on the site? So but
just
yeah.
You got Mark, just give me my cut, here's my address, send that check my way.
Let's talk to him about that, and he goes, fucking Johnny. People are thinking these are for sale, and I'm like, no, Johnny made it. Go ask him.
Well, Scoop's the same way. It's not a 1-for-1 for the classic. It's a nice update. You brought in newer technology and still use some of that gridiron stuff, but you just, change it around. It looks freaking amazing.
It made Scoop
Yeah.
freaking cool.
Yeah, I looked at the original figure of Scoop, and I was like, well, how can I replicate his gear and kind of make it look slightly modern, but still, a little bit retro. So went through my gridiron stuff and found some stuff I could chop all up and did it.
Mm-hmm.
So
GI Bro, we all need that Flash.
Hell yeah.
And this crazy cat, the vehicles just blows me away. But the Cobra Commander and that color scheme, I don't know what it is, but I absolutely love that figure. It's just amazing. Oh, did we leave? Oh, we lost Johnny.
Uh-oh.
no, hang on, be right back.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, we lost Gun Bunny.
We lost Gun
Here I was
Bunny.
giving him props.
How are we going to lose Gun Bunny when we're talking about his shit?
Welcome to the island, everybody.
He's like, oh no,
Here
I
he
got
is.
my stuff up.
You there, Gun Bunny? Uh-oh. Let's try this again. You there, Gun Bunny?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got a phone call, so it threw me out.
Oh, right on. Oh, that's what happened on Collector Express show too.
It happens.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got a phone call.
Dude, don't worry about it. It's all right. But we were just going on and on. The water moccasin that you created from the Fortnite boat, just absolutely nuts.
Sorry, I had a phone call.
Absolutely nuts. And then the Wolverine, and then of course I was just saying how much I love the Cobra Commander that you made. That color scheme, the detail, how you got the just the painting just perfect. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's one of my I guess more favorite ones. I did him early on, so I wasn't using an airbrush again yet. So I was all brush painted. That's why his arms are a little bit like Ralphie's brother. He can't really put them all the way down.
Ralphie.
Yeah.
And then when Tony's like, hey, you got to check out my boy Gun Bunny. He did the Python Patrol and the Tiger Force stuff. And I'm like, I hate that stuff. And then I saw you did the Ram Cycles, and then you did the Buzz Lightyear jets. And I'm just like, what kind of craziness? Like, how do you paint this
Holy balls.
shit to look like this? It's just absolutely freaking crazy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, so when I was growing up, I grew up painting models, and when I was in high school, I worked my way through high school working in a hobby store. So I did. It was like when all the lowrider models were crazed. So I learned how to airbrush. I learned pinstriping. I learned how to paint RC cars, planes, do train layouts, and work with all kinds of different stuff, paint miniatures and stuff like that. Because people would ask us to do it for them. So just through all the years of working there, and then all the other stuff that I do, like for my day job, you just learn how to paint different techniques. And so once I made the jump from figures and figuring out the right paint and techniques on the figure, and then I moved to the vehicles, and I was able to basically use the same techniques I used while I was making like custom and stuff like that. So the way that I tape them off and all that stuff, it's similar.
It's just amazing. And of course, your Python Patrol, Destro, Major Blood, and Scrap Iron look just awesome as well. So just
Yeah, he's definitely one of my
chef's kiss.
favorite ones that I did.
Major Blood to me is one of the most underrated figures from the classified line.
Big
Just
time.
such a great looking figure. And then again, you talked about your OG rock and roll
retro version of them, and we get that retro card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, blood.
And-
yeah.
the Baroness cycle in Tiger Force, dude,
That's crazy.
it's crazy.
You took that all apart, right?
Yeah, I part. So what I wanted to do at the this one first, and then this one was the next one, was like a sub team that was for the people in between, like Storm Shadow, where sometimes he's a Joe. So instead of it being Tiger Force, it was like a Crimson Tiger Force. So it had more of like a Crimson Guard colors to them. So it was more of like a neutral, double agent sort of. So I also did a Baroness in that same kind of Crimson Tiger Force kind of way as well.
Oh yeah.
It looks better than the Hasbro one. I'm just saying. It just
Oh
it
my
absolutely
God.
Yeah,
looks
but taking it all
amazing.
apart.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and when I
And then, of
this
course-
one, there that I never saw there was never any like Tiger Force Ram version before I did this one. There was no release, no that I ever saw, no exclusive or anything like that. So when I painted this one, I just painted it on a whim, and I did it. I think it was about a year they released theirs.
Yeah, Lenny saw it and was like, "Oh, that's a great idea." But your OG rock and roll looks
Maybe
amazing.
It'd be awesome if that was.
What was that? I'm sorry.
you.
Oh, just
I
amazing.
said thank you.
But this is
Uh-oh.
the item that we're going to
Uh-oh.
really be talking about. This crazy contraption
Yes.
that he sent me some pictures on. The construction, this is out of styrene, which is just mind-blowing.
Yeah, the track base off of this crap out of the way.
And there it is, all painted up.
Yep. Oh my God.
So this holds 10 figures in the back. Then you'll have a gunner, so that's 11, and then you have 2 pilots, so 13. It's just amazing. Look how
Hold on,
freaking
my
huge
original
that thing is.
Yeah, so like I said, it was a HM Armed Forces pursuit tank.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the top off because originally this was supposed to be a bridge layer. I had got it to make it a bridge layer, and so I had separated them because I needed to take the turd off, and so I just had the bottom tray, and I was just trying to figure mapping out plans and stuff like that, and then it just sort of spiraled into this, and it took me a few months. It was a bridge layer. Sometimes it was this. Sometimes it was an APC. It's going to be something else. At one point, I wanted to make, and it might be my next vehicle. Either I'm going to make a Joe APC with the correct proportions in the front, or I want to make a Cobra vehicle. It was like almost had a big drill in the front where Cobra was always drilling into a base or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And so I want. I have another one of these HM Armed Forces in my little stash. So I'm either gonna my next project is either gonna be the Joe APC or it's gonna be one of those kind of things. But so when I built it, it's like an APC, the top, and it's got the seat for the gunner in there. So this portion of the turret was 3D printed. It was 3D printed by a gentleman named Model Misfit 1138. He printed this turret out for me. It was really for another moccasin going into this. So this is the crew that comes with it. It's gonna have that black Televiper. This is gonna be the driver, and then the gunner. And then also in the
Nice.
back on the this also this folds down and this part slides out. It's not supposed to come all the way out.
Model Misfit, I
that
think
comes
he's
out.
Loki Wartooth, right?
Put that on the as the ramp, and then it also has mount in the back, so then that way you could have a 50 cal mounted in the back when the top goes up. So it'll have it has a 50 cal mounted in the back, and then it has the where's it at? The it's got
the ammo
the
belt.
box of ammo right there on the side.
No, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah. And then this top portion comes off. Also, you can put them in there.
So
you can
which
see I
piece
haven't
did model?
finished putting the,
Which piece did Model Misfit do?
he did the turret.
Oh yeah, that's right. Loki wore two of the eyes. Uh-oh.
Shoot. That was me. Sorry, I was trying to use solo layout. There we go.
All right.
Nice, dude.
So that like I said, it's pretty much done. I got just a little bit more to do, putting stuff all together to finish it, all the little finishing touches and stuff like that. But I put like a shovel and an axe at the bottom that I got off RC car set, and then just sort of made it, like Johnny Cash said, one piece at a time, and then it came out like this. So it's going to be the troop carrier for my 788 team. So I have 2 HISS tanks, 2 HMSs, and I have 2 788 fire teams. So the 2 fire teams, Techno Vipers, and then you have the HISS tanks in front. And then when the Stingers come, they'll match it. And then I want to do I have 2 of those wrecking rig toys. So I'm going to take the back out and put platforms in the back, and it's going to have 2 trouble bubbles that'll be like the scouts for this, and then that'll be like the vehicle that hauls them and is like the refueler. So I'm going to make 2 788 trouble bubbles to match the fire team as well.
Oh hell,
Jesus criminy.
that's crazy. Oh yeah. Damn.
So amazing work, but I blame you guys. So I blame you because a lot of your work is what inspired me to do some of my own customs.
Hell yeah.
So I was a kid of the 80s. So Predator, Commando, Heartbreak Ridge. So I had to create my own kind of spec ops team. So, of course, all of the stuff is gridiron, except for the hats. I got those from Jay's Armory.
Yep.
But those are my favorites. They stay on my shelf. I will not save. I will not give those away like I do with most of my other customs.
Yeah.
But then I also did a custom Footloose with a sculpted on mustache, a Dr. Venom, and then Hit and Run are the other 3 that I'm most proud of. So
Those look great, man. Oh yeah.
So
Damn.
all right. Let's do this.
What up, Ray?
Oh, we're there. Hello, sir. All right. So we know we're all Joe fans here, but I think with all of these other figure lines that we're seeing coming out, and I know Mark's going to be in Monster Force, but are there any other figure lines you're excited to see coming out that you're kind of like going, damn, I might pick up a few of those, or you think you're going to probably stick mostly to what we've been doing with the Joes? And let's admit, Gridiron is a line of its own, everybody. So they're not accessories. You collect Gridiron. You have to have an armory just for their stuff.
So true.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh hell yeah, Ray.
Yeah, sorry, Phil. I got you hooked on the classified with those customs I sent. But
The only
Who
other
are
line that I still sort of semi collect, I really don't do.
oh, we lost you.
Cut out, gun buddy.
Cut out.
The volume cuts out.
Now you're back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
I was gonna say honestly that I really still kind of semi collect toy lines ever, or unliked toy lines ever, and it's fucking the Playmates. And I for whatever reason they're a childhood favorite. So I've made a couple of custom Dick Tracy characters, the ones that get made toys, like Stooge Villers, and so I want to make those. That's the only other line that I really even mess with.
What Playmates figures were you talking about? You cut out when you said Playmates.
The Dick Tracy.
Oh, the Dick Tracy.
Okay. Right on. Hell yeah.
Have you guys seen the Patriot
Like,
Force
biggest
figures
flop
that they're going to have
lines
for
or
that
whatever,
Kickstarter?
I've seen something, but I can't picture the Patriot Force in my head.
So they're all real service members.
Oh, they're all, yeah, okay, I've seen them. Yeah.
So I might pick up a couple of those. We'll see. But
I'm just, after I'm taking a break from, I did the LERP team and some more Joe stuff. I just got into McFarlane's Justice League stuff because they finally coming out with the solid team. I don't want everyone. I'm only cherry picking, top Justice League members. I might do the Satellite era because I started messing with those. They're really easy to come apart, paint, put back together. They're really easy. I didn't know until I started messing with them, until they had enough of the league to realistically get. I didn't want to get one and then wait. I'm like, whoa, a lot of these are out still already. So yeah, I'm just messing around with different stuff just to keep it interesting. Not all Joe.
I mean, there are other toy lines. I'm kidding.
There's
How about you, Johnny? Is there do you collect like Marvel Legends or Star Wars or anything like that?
Most of the Marvel Legends I collect are to be chopped up for fodder. There's probably a few figures I have that are still together. That actually, I think I have one on display. That's probably the only one I kept together right now. I do collect some Star Wars Black Series, mainly like Scout Troopers and the Mandalorians. So I usually just stick between the classified and then a couple of those things.
I admit I watched the Marvel streams because I look for future figures I could do customs with.
Yep.
I know they had the Secret Invasion. They had a whole bunch of those figures go for clearance on Amazon, and I'm like, oh, time to pick up a couple of those. I need those suited body figures.
Oh yeah, they're good for my gangster squad. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I cherry pick Marvel Legends too, big time. And I need, whenever they make a gangster, I think I need Negative Man to round out the main gangster type Marvel characters, and then that's it until someone else comes out. But I don't know who else they have. I can have them all. I wanted that Silvermane, but he was in that box set, and you got to find him on eBay now or something. I don't know. Just to have all the OG gangsters, because I do have that Bratz car.
Nice.
Everybody has that Bratz car. Admit it.
There's a gangster. I put my gangsters in it.
I think more men over the age of 30 bought that Bratz car than the demographic age of was it 7 to 10-year-old girls. Oh, you buying this for your daughter? Oh, yeah, I'm buying it for my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm putting mini hydraulics on it.
I'll put a stereo in it.
Popping hydros.
Hell yeah, it does have lights.
What are you guys looking for? What do you want to see Gridiron produce? Because I know you two, are in the know.
Well, like I said, I gave Gridiron a huge list. I gave to Mark probably like 200 things listed on this list.
We'll give him a bunch to work on. Yeah. And he's come
And
out.
then-
He came out with the EBR. I was telling Johnny, I want that EBR. I want it for Recondo. I need Recondo. And he was messing around making other weapons for Recondo that could like satisfy you for a little bit. And I'm like, Johnny, he's still not making an EBR. He goes, I got him. I'll get him. And then he made it. I'm like, good. I'm done with Recondo. That EBR is freaking badass. Plate carriers would be dope. KJ. We might see those. We might. So
I want an M1 and I want a bar, Mark. Please, I need them.
Those are on my list.
he did say he wants to delve into the World War II weapons and stuff. Yeah.
And then if we can get some German weapons, some German grenades, I can't think of the machine guns they carried.
MP34.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, well, good.
I keep telling Mark, look at Garand
What-
Thumb.
Well, I'm waiting for my the loadout for the vamp.
Oh,
So I'm patiently waiting for that.
mm-hmm.
No, I know he's been slammed lately, so
Oh, big time. Just with the vamp stuff, he's slammed.
is there I know Gun Bunny just had to, show everyone how freaking crazy his work in progress stuff is. Now I feel, like I don't want to show any of my stuff, but do you guys have anything that you're currently working on that you would like to show off?
Johnny, I don't have anything at the moment. I finished that quick kick, but
I mean, tactic kick.
the tactic kick, yeah. That's this one. I mean, he was a work in progress, and I just finally finished him. Just instead of being all barefoot and everything, I mean, he still, throws back to his shirtless, but at least he's got a plate carrier.
That looks good. I like that.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, but as for now, I don't have any other whips I'm working on right now. In between,
Yeah.
I don't know if Johnny has anything.
I don't know. Looking at those bins behind me, nothing is in a state worthy of showing right now that anybody would recognize or even be like, "Oh, okay."
I mean, he would show his airtight, but he doesn't have it right now.
Whoa! Yeah, that's not in hands anymore.
Nope.
Hmm.
You will.
It is
you will
Friday.
be seeing
I
that.
wonder. Somebody drops stuff usually on Fridays.
Oh yeah, I haven't checked. It's probably an ice chest cooler for the damn vamp.
Yeah.
A beer fridge for the back. KJ, I use brush and I use airbrush.
Wow.
I'll do hand brush more so because unless I'm going to be airbrushing a lot, it's a pain in the ass just to paint a little bit. Then I have to clean it
That's
and then
why I
make
don't
sure
get
it's
it.
clean. And then so
The bowl.
if I'm going to do primary and stuff.
Yeah. I think if I
do
would do
have
primer,
something.
I would go to the airbrush, but I've never picked up an airbrush. And I've got buddies that can show me, how and all that stuff. Nope, I'm all paintbrush.
I do have one thing I guess I could show. I'm waiting on one item I gotta go pick up from Mark, but you know how I've been rearming a lot of my figures with gridiron stuff. I'm just waiting on the final piece I rearmed Recondo
Mm-hmm.
with a.
Nice.
Once again, I chopped up some gridiron stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see that special EBR is not the usual EBR.
Nope. That's a Johnny EBR for deep in the jungle.
And that's the backpack also used to
Yep.
be Recondo / gridiron parts.
Damn, that
I'm
looks
just waiting on one piece to go pick up from Mark to finish them off before I snap some pictures and throw them up.
nice. You guys are all just true, absolute amazing artists with what you guys create. I'm just blown away. Every time Instagram pops and you guys post stuff out there, I'm just like, holy crap, this is crazy. I mean, Johnny, with your weapons, when you the mashups you do with them, I'm like, damn that. Well, now I'm like, how? Okay, I got to figure out how he did that so I can do it too. But it's just amazing.
Well,
He did the original. He did the dock. He inspired me to do the dock custom. After Mark did all the medical stuff that we threw at him, and Windsor Newton, baby, with Dusty.
yeah, I think that was the first I guess collab I did with Mark where I made that figure for him for him to do the loadout for.
So I'm currently 3D modeling a gas station for my Dreadnought, since we know that Torch will be sometime this year.
Yes.
And then we're also getting Naugahyde, Road Pig, Zorana, or we already have her, but Xandar. And I know who the other person is in the 2-pack with Falcon. So I think we'll be quite happy this year.
Are you
All
still using
right.
Dreadnoughts?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Motherfucker. Yes, you do, you liar. Mentiroso.
I think with, being a huge Dreadnought fan as I am, I had to start working on the gas station now so I can have that for a Dio. So
I actually have a couple of bikes broken down. I have a couple of those Black Punisher bikes. I have broken down, and I need to prime them and paint them. I have specific paint schemes that I'm going to do on them that correlate with the specific Dreadnought they go on. So I wanted to make a couple of them off of those Punisher bikes, and then a couple of them off of Rams, like they repurpose Rams to make specific Dreadnought motorcycles with them, and then maybe supplement it with either the Wolverine bike or the Cap World War II bike, because it's all basically the same bike, just a different front end, different handlebars and stuff like that. So I want to definitely work on that for those Dreadnoughts coming.
I absolutely love those Marvel Legends motorcycles, because you can, once you break them down, I'm gonna be calling you up, buddy, because I want to break them down too and make them more Dreadnought-esque. You know what I mean? Because right now they're just stock Marvel Legends that I throw them on, but you see in the comic they were into that. I almost looked like they were into that chrome look.
Yep.
They were into the chrome bikes. They were into the V-Class almost.
Yeah, man, got to throw some bare metal foil on there or something.
Yeah, there it is. Right, that looks right up their alley, Ryan. Jeez, that's a Punisher bike.
Oh yeah.
The engine looks sick too. I love the shotgun on there. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Fuck you, Ryan. That was dope. I need to get off my ass and start painting the bikes. I think that might be my next project.
it's hard because I want motorcycles for the Dreadnoughts, but like you'll find the 6-inch scale, but they're a little bit too small because their 6.5-inch scale really is what the Joe line is.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at like 1/10 scale bikes and hoping that will work.
Yeah.
So I'd like to get some choppers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a
And I want to do a
WWE
trike.
one, and then the trike. Yeah, Gun Bunny, you made a trike, didn't you?
Yeah, I have a trike. I have the Dreadnoughts Thundercycle. I gotta redo the back where I gotta put those armor pieces that come up off the side. But I used the turbo cycle from the 86 Rambo Coleco line.
Rambo bike. That was perfect. Yeah.
And I found like a semi-trash version pretty cheap on eBay, and that's what I ended up using. And it works well. It scales well. Those figures actually probably scale closer to this than most of the other lines. I used their cruise. They actually had a line of box crew serves like mortars, 50 cals, and stuff like that in different configurations. And all of those work. And I've used them all on my customs. The mortar for like short fuse, the 50 cals for vehicles and stuff like that. So it's a good supplemental line.
I was gonna get into customizing a vehicle finally, because I got that Ripsaw RC vehicle. I think KJ knows what I'm talking about. And I was gonna mess with that. It's a little small. You have to doctor it. You have to cut the bottom out to make room for their legs and do all that stuff, which would have been fun. But once I charged it and started playing with it, that's all I wanted. That's all I want to do is play with it. That thing is so fast.
Oh,
and it goes everywhere.
So these were on Amazon for $10.
Oh,
It's the remote control.
Yeah.
And it's just this thin plastic so this can come off. But I'm going to do something dreadnought for that.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's almost to scale, right?
It's big, but once I dreadnought it up, it'll be fine.
Could you put the vamp body on that RC chassis?
It doesn't sit correctly. It's just a little bit too small. It needs to be elongated a little bit and widened. But
Longer and wider.
that's what she said. That will be the Vespa. That's going to be Xandar, I think.
Oh man, that's cold blooded. Poor Xandar.
Yeah.
He's gonna get the Deadpool bike, the Deadpool Vespa.
I
Yeah.
have for Killikeen, I redid one of those for my son because he wanted an Undertaker, but he wanted it to look like, not like crap like it did. So we redid one of those, the slamming cycles. They look really good.
Oh yeah, yeah. The canopy. Yeah, the tank I was talking about. It'd be for Cobra all day.
Well, guys, we've actually made it to an hour. That's quite impressive with all the crazy stuff, and then Gun Buddy's got to outdo everybody. Kidding.
Let him.
Dude,
I don't mess with vehicles. Go ahead.
I'm telling you, just the stuff that you guys have put out, it's just absolutely amazing. And I have attached their Instagram links in the description of the video. If you guys aren't following them, go and follow them because they're huge inspiration if you want to start doing customs. If you're scared to start them because you don't think you're going to be good enough, it's okay. You only get better by trying. Look for clearance stuff. If you have like an Ollie's or a Ross, something like that, go and just look at different things and say, what can I make out of these as a customs? I think Johnny said it best. Like, I'll find stuff and go, man, what can I make out of that? So, as stupid as it sounds for Dio, if I can reach it. So, like, these came in for fast, like, drinks. And I'm like, man, that would look great for Tunnel Rat if I put some tunnels through it and then I could and just hide it. And I'm like, so I'm going to keep these. But I think that's the trick, is just finding stuff and going, I think I can make something out of it. And if it doesn't turn out, it doesn't turn out. So what? But just doing it, being creative, I think that's what is great. You're playing with your toys again. You're creating something new. You're releasing all those endorphins and all that other good stuff that we need to make ourselves, feel better. And, go ahead and do it. Let's go around just words of wisdom for customizers. Tony, let's start with you. What would you tell somebody who's starting out?
Oh man, don't be afraid to ask questions. Get your fans dirty. Get some cheap figures and some acrylic paints work the best. Don't get enamel,
Yes.
and just start practicing. You don't have to go into primering yet or any of that crazy stuff unless you plan on selling them, and paint rub, and you'll just get experience applying the paint to different plastics, coating it with Krylon acrylic matte, whatever you want to do to make it glossy, make it flat. Ask questions. Me and Johnny, Gun Bunny, and Dreadnought, we don't gatekeep anything. You can always hit us up on any of the socials, and we'll be happy to answer all questions. Whether you got questions on sanding, painting, breaking apart, breaking down, and because we've done it to a lot of different figure lines. So I'm eager to help anybody that needs it or wants it, or any questions you see. In the past, we've broken down the recipes on all our customs and stuff. I know me and Johnny have. Gun Bunny will tell you what's made out of, and so is Ryan. So and there's a lot of other guys that will tell you the recipes right off the bat, because what we get when we do post crazy on social media is that, where's this one at? Where's that at? Where'd you get that one at? Let me make you the recipe, baby. Boom. And they love that. It's just the togetherness of all the customizing community. There's what do you call it? Facebook pages dedicated to all that stuff. Some moderating and adminning and all that stuff. So always just ask questions. You want to get into it. It's a fun thing. Like I say, I have a stressful job, and I use this as my outlet. So why wouldn't I want to help somebody else who wants to do it?
Johnny?
Yeah, just echoing everything Tony already said. Pretty much, hey, just ask questions. I've had a lot of people ask me questions, over on Instagram about stuff, and anytime they want to know something, how I did something, I just, if I already put everything breakdown in all my posts, but if they want more specific, I'll just go into detail, message and tell them, hey, this is how I did all this and whatnot. Yeah, just don't be afraid to ask the people who are doing the customing stuff. So 9 times out of 10, they're gonna tell you how they did it. And I've been putting since I've made a Facebook page now, I've been putting a lot of the behind the scenes pictures I've taken during when I've been making stuff and customizing, and so show a little bit more on how I did stuff. So, and don't be afraid to break your figures, because you can always make something out of it.
Yep.
Figures, assembly. I chop up everything. I chop up gridiron.
Nothing is safe.
Nothing
Nothing
is safe in my
Johnny.
hand. Mm-hmm.
That's all right though. And Gun Bunny, this I think is probably, Rachel's like, I thought about picking up those wrestling ambulances and big rigs. They do scale with the GI Joe stuff pretty nice, and you can.
I want to get that ambulance. I want to get that ambulance to make my crew at work.
I'm surprised you don't have it yet.
I know. I need to get it because that one doesn't have a gurney, but the one oh no wait, the WWE one has a gurney, right?
Yeah, the WWE one does.
The WWE one has a gurney. That one does, and there's another cool one out there. I don't know if it's a RC or there's something else out there. It's like $30 on Amazon or something. It's a to scale nice ambo that looks like mine in real life, and just to make myself and my work ambo and my partner Chris, that'd be kind of fun. I already got Shipwrecks jeans. Make some dude pants out of them.
What's your advice for people starting out with customization?
I would give the same advice I would give to anybody taking on any kind of artistic endeavor, whether it was picking up customizing, painting, pinstriping, tattooing, whatever it is. One thing that when I started is you want to decide like on a specific look or a specific lane that you're going to want to be in, because if you try too many things all at once and none of it works for you, it's going to be very discouraging. So I always try to start on step 1, master step 1, go to step 2. Every figure you do or every custom you make, vehicle or whatever, try to not master, but try to get one technique down, and then that way when you go to the next one, you got one more kind of tool in your tool bag. Because if you try to just go like full force right away, it's going to be very discouraging, even if you get a lot of compliments or you get a lot of advice, because you're not going to see the actual product in your hand. So take it slow, take it one step at a time. You don't need to start by one thing. I want to be proficient at painting. I want to be proficient at hand painting or airbrushing or using a rattle can or whatever it is, and focus on that. And then once you got it, move to the next technique. And once you got it, move to the next technique. And before you know it, once you're 3 or 4 or 5, figures or custom vehicles in, you've already got 5 new techniques that you're using. And on that 6th one, that's when it's going to really start coming together. Once you start putting all that stuff together, whether you're working on using like green stuff, sculpting, whether you're kit bashing, the accessories and stuff like that. So just try to pick one thing, master it, move on to the next thing, instead of trying to do everything at once. So then that way you see the results, you feel the reward, and you're anxious into moving on to the next step.
That's great advice.
Perfect.
Yep. I co-sign all that.
It looks like we have some questions in here. So,
Yes, sir.
all right, Killer King. I love the name, by the way. Yeah, okay. Oh, that wrong one. Here we go. All right. I have so many Ram cycles that I need broken down. I'm sure I've seen one of your channel videos on how to do it, but my plugs just seem to be welded in, even after boiling them. I think Gun Bunny is probably the one to answer this one. Is there a best way of
Are those
Yeah.
rivets? Are they riveted in?
No, actually, the first video that I actually ever did on my channel is how to break
Yeah.
down the ram cycle. So you don't boil the ram cycle. You don't boil it at all. In order to pull those plugs out, what I do is I heat up an X-Acto knife on my heat gun, and I get that blade as hot as I can, and then I stick it into the plug, and I let it cool, and let that plug kind of grip onto the blade, and then it'll just slide right out. So on the Rams, they did the plugs, because on the first one, the coil, they didn't do anything. On the Rams, they did the plugs, and I'm trying to think what they did. On the Fortnite boat, when you take out those plugs, they have clips in them, so you actually have to drill through them. But on the Ram, they're just like little cylinders. They just slide right out once you put your X-Acto in there. I think it has 5 plugs on that one side, and then you have the 2 rods that hold the where like the tranny and the belt is, that hold that the rear end together, and then you have the two posts for the axle, and you just heat them up, heat up the X-Acto knife to get the plugs out, and then heat up the female side of the bike, and it's all in that video, and it just comes together, comes apart real easy.
And I did put Gun Bunny's channel information in the chat for everyone as well too. Rachel asked, did you guys ever pick up the Brooder vehicles for the 118 figures? I have. My son was into construction stuff when he was younger, so when I was collecting the foreign stuff, I had some of the Brooder stuff. It was nice. It's actually not 1/18th, it's more like 1/16th scale, so it's a little bit big, but I think it fit really nice. So if you do have 3 3/4 or 4-inch figures, the Brooder stuff does work really good. So, all right. Well, guys, I want to do this. Thank you for all of your inspiration that you guys have done on making these crazy customs. And more importantly, thank you for being my friends. I truly appreciate you guys so much. Whenever I've reached out, I've had questions. Messing around in the chat's been absolutely fun on Larry's show. Of course, you know, with Gun Bunny freaking taking apart a flipping his tank after he got it, I was like, beside myself. I'm like, what are you doing?
Crazy
But,
mofo.
you know, the guy's just crazy enough to do it. And then Johnny just tearing apart all of Mark's hard work and you know, doing all those crazy kit bashes that make me go, damn, I like to do that too. So, and then Tony, you know, you're my brother. I love you. So,
Same.
but I did post Tony's and Gun Bunny's links. Johnny, I'm hoping sometime this year you get your own YouTube channel where you can maybe, if you want to, we'll see.
Oh, Ryan, that's the wrong address for mine.
Is it?
Yeah, you put Toy Bros.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. How did I get Toy Bros?
Oh no.
Correct.
Now I want to check out Toy Bro. Oh, what is that?
Copy URL.
Who's that
Let's
guy?
try this one more time here.
There it is.
I'm trying to think. I must subscribe to Toy Bro. Oh, I do.
know. I wanna
He's
check him out
he's
now.
got a pretty fun channel, actually. So
I gotta check him out. I
a lot
heard
of
him.
cool stuff. That's my bad. All right, let's try this again. Thank you, Tony, for catching that.
Mm-hmm. I saw Toy Bro Matt, and I'm like, "What's that?"
So, all right, folks, thank you all for joining. You know, we've had, I think, 17 or 20 people in the chat, so thank you so much. I am trying to do more live streams, but if we're going to do them, I'm going to keep them more towards inviting artists, masters, different people like that who do some amazing stuff in our community, just awesome people on just to chit chat and have fun. We are the Island of Misfit Toy Collectors. It's not about clicks. It's not about likes. It's just about cool people coming and hanging out and just shooting the shit and having fun. So thank you guys all for dropping by. KJ, you are my other brother from a different mother in LA. So thank you very much. And for everybody else who did join us, you know, thank you so much. And thank you for the support that you provided the Island Misfit Toy Collectors.
Oh yeah.
You all have a wonderful night, and we will talk to you all next time.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, but
Later.